If you go to Forbes page and take a look at the top richest people in the world, you will be shocked by the size of their wealth. But none of their wealth could possibly come close to John Rockefeller's one. His wealth was so significant that he was wealthier than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk combined. John Rockefeller was the richest American to ever live in the estimated wealth of $400 billion. So totally, we will take a look at how exactly he made that fortune. But first, let's take a look at how he got into the business the first place. He grew up in the large and comfortable family with the conman father and extremely religious mothers. He was so depressed to take care of his mom that he got a job as the bookkeeper at the age of the 16. This job played an additional role in his life. In fact, it was so vital that he later ascribed all of his success at the first job, because there he learned how business works, from negotiation to collecting debts. And his goals was to make $100,000 and live 100 years. By the age of 19, he already mastered the game and decided to start his own business, and began selling everything he possibly could, from metal to grains, and got commissions on every deal. Although that he was doing pretty good, his business only soared with the outbreak of the Civil War, because the demand for the food only increased. But his ambitions were more significant than that. With the discovery of the oil in the 1859 in Pennsylvania, he realized the potential opportunity. Of course, oil wasn't such a big deal then as today, since cars and planes weren't yet invented, but it still could be used to produce kerosene, which was widely used to warm up homes and light up lamps. While most people risk their lives to find the oil could be expected, John had a deeper understanding of the businesses. He realized that oil by itself wasn't useful. It could only be used after it's refined. So he built his first refinery in the 1963. Since the industry was still at its initial phase, most refiners could only turn 60% of the oil to kerosene, while dumping the rest of the rivers. It was clearly a waste of resources for the John, so he operated at the higher efficiency. In fact, he was so eager to be ahead of the competitions that he did everything possible to lower the costs at every stage of the productions. And in the less than 2 years, the business was worth over $1 million. Adjust to inflations, it's 72 millions at this time. By the 1970s, they were too big for the partnership, so he incorporated into the Standard Oil of Ohio. With its massive size, the temperate resources, and the company started growing at incredible speed. He would buy the least efficient companies, refines through money into it to improve their efficiency, use his power and network to get the highest possible discount on oil shipments and get rid of these competitions. Those who refuses to sell competing refiners, John threatened to start the price war until they would run out of cash and go bankrupt, and then he would buy their assets cheaply and an auction. That's how he took control of the entire industry. Now, 90%. Rockefeller realized that pipelines can easily replace the railroads to transport oil, so he began to build and acquire them. As Railroads saw that as the threat, and Standard Oil will take over the transportation industry as well. At this point, Rockefeller was so big that there was many journalists, politicians, and other businessmen who attacked him to bring him down. Even the Congress saw him as the threat. Although that he broke down the company into 41 entities under the banner of Standard Oil Trust. It didn't save him, and by 1911, the U.S. Supreme Justice Department found Standard Oil guilty in violations of the Antitrust Act, Sherman Antitrust Act, and broke it down in 34 different companies, while John still kept his share. It might seem like it was a disaster for him, but it turned out to be immensely profitable. Each of these companies individuals were worth more, which further increases Rockefeller's net worth to $400 billion. Over time, their companies either worked together or simply migrated, such Chevrolet or Exxon Mobil, who are still loading the industry today. If you have enjoyed this video, make you hit the subscribe button and the bell beside it. By the way, recently we have created a Patreon page in case you want to support us to make more videos. The link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.